TVS Motor Company is perhaps the only Indian two-wheeler manufacturer which has got decades and decades of rally experience. But this brand has not been in the adventure motorcycle space until now. Meet the new TVS Apache RTX. RTX why? RTR is race throttle response, RR is race replica, RTX TVS says is rally tour extreme. Meet the new 300cc adventure tourer that TVS has introduced, and with a very attractive introductory price starting at 1.99 lakh ex-showroom. But does this bike make the cut as a versatile adventure tourer, or is there any shortcomings? Should you even consider buying it if you're in a market for a 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh price bracket adventure tourer? That's what we'll try to answer in this short review today. But before that, please do consider liking the Car and Bike channel. If you haven't yet, hit that bell so that you get notified every time we ride an interesting motorcycle like this and tell you all about it. One thing about the RTX is that this bike definitely has road presence. Initially, the design I was a little confused about the design, but the more time I've spent with this motorcycle, the design has sort of grown on me. And in fact, that big tank, it gives solid road presence like a proper adventure bike should. And in fact, the tank shape reminds me somewhat of the Triumph Tigers. And you let us know what you think of the design. Now, this one doesn't have a beak, but a beak is available as an accessory if you want to put that beak to have that proper ADV look. This knuckle guards, accessories, crash guard, also accessory, and there's a USB charging port also, that's also an accessory. But overall, in terms of stance, in terms of design, this bike really looks the part of an adventure motorcycle. I think TVS has nailed the look, and 300cc adventure touring motorcycle, it has that road presence, it has that stance, it has that presence, and I think anyone looking at that segment will be drawn towards the presence that the TVS Apache RTX offers. I think full marks there. Although it's got a 19-inch front, 17-inch rear wheel combination, and the suspension travel is 180 mm. Ground clearance 200 mm. Again, TVS reiterates that this is primarily for road use, tarmac use, not really a hardcore motorcycle, but it can do fair bit of trails like a normal beginner adventure rider will do. So time to ride it and tell you how does it feel on tarmac, how does it feel on gravel roads, a little bit of off-road, and tell you all about it. This particular color is called a Viper Green. It's not one of those colors that I like because there are quite a few colors. There's Viper Green, there's Metallic Blue, there's a Pearl White, and there's a Lightning Black. My favorites are the white and the blue. This one is what we are testing, what we are riding for the review. I'm not particularly a fan of this color, but there's nothing quite like this color on any other motorcycle right now. So if you want to make a statement which is unique, which is different, then this color perhaps will appeal to you. There's a 5-inch console, TFT console. It has got everything from your Bluetooth Smart Connect, which TVS has proprietary system, 4 ride modes, urban, tour, rain and rally. And there's quite a few, kit. If you opt for the top spec BTO version, you also get fully adjustable suspension, which this bike has. And it also has bi-directional quick shifter, up and down quick shifter, which is also you can opt for in the BTO version, which is 2,29,000 rupees ex-showroom introductory price. Now this motorcycle we have started riding on tarmac first, and not really plains. We're in the mountains here, so lots of twisty tarmacs. And first thing that really impressed me is the way it handles. That chassis, the suspension, it all comes together, gives you very good handling on the twisties, very planted. So if you're a beginner adventure rider, you want to upgrade from a smaller bike to your first adventure bike, then this one has got that stability, has got that sharp handling, which will immediately impress you. You can take corners very fast, you will be in control. The engine is very linear power delivery. It's not something which will surprise you. So it has got punch, but it's not something which will surprise you or intimidate you. So in that sense, on tarmac, I think this package in terms of performance, in terms of handling, in terms of dynamics, and in terms of ride quality is a very sorted machine which TVS has done a very good job in that department. So even if you're upgrading from a 200cc to 300cc or 150 to 300 or even 250 to 300, I think this one has got it all in terms of performance, dynamics, ride quality to keep you satisfied. And we did fair bit of off-road riding as well, and mainly gravel trails, but yes, some bit of off-road. And don't go by the specs, 180 mm suspension travel, yes, but this can do a fair bit of off-road. You can gun it through gravel trails, you can gun it through slush. It remains planted. I think TVS, the chassis, everything works together, give you a very satisfying off-road experience. Of course, if you're an advanced adventure rider, you want something more hardcore, this bike probably has got its limitations, but if you're a beginner adventure rider, this one has got capability which will probably be beyond your experience or your capability as a beginner adventure rider. For experienced riders, yes, you'll need wire spoke wheels, you probably need more suspension travel. But then if there was more suspension travel, you would have probably compromised on the handling, which this one has very good on tarmac. So I think performance-wise, it's sorted. But while I was doing off-road, because we've been riding since morning almost, these are the first lot that we have been riding. I felt issue with the fueling, especially in second and third gear. First of the ride, I didn't feel anything on tarmac, but while we moved to the off-road bit, which was a couple of hours of off-road riding, I felt the fueling is not as crisp. I think TVS should look into it. Maybe in future iterations, when it actually comes to production, they will sort it out. In my unit at least, I felt some issues with the fueling, which, knowing TVS, I think will be sorted in future. Second gear, when I opened the throttle, I felt a lag in the throttle response. Third gear also same. And if you're doing technical off-roads, fueling issues could become a little bit of a hindrance. That is something which I didn't like in this motorcycle. So finally then, who is this bike for? If you're in the market for a beginner adventure bike, something like a Hero Xpulse 210, maybe a Suzuki V-Strong 250 SX, or even a KTM 250 Adventure, this is one bike you cannot ignore. You should test ride this motorcycle because amongst all these other motorcycles in that adventure segment, this one definitely has a lot of qualities which are indeed quite impressive. And take a test ride. This could probably be all the bike you need if you want to start adventure riding with.